Okay, Netflix. Netflix was actually here on the weekly. You can see what Netflix did. It broke that weekly stair step, rallied. We're looking for a weekly higher low. We're coming in on a weekly EMA 12, the blue line right here, after this huge rally up, and I'm thinking it might be a good spot to try to get long right at the weekly EMA 12. On the daily time frame, it's doing this little daily downtrend business and not looking so hot. I had been thinking of it like a daily rider, but when it set this lower high and started rolling over, I didn't try in here. I didn't try to get this thing long. I think I did try on this day and wasn't able to do it. I got like a risk-free stop out or something like that. I know there was another time I tried it. Anyway, comes in lower and coming into weekly EMA 12, and I'm thinking, this could be the attempt right here. So watching on basically on the open, and it's basically a really smooth 5-minute trend, and when I see a trend like this where it's basically the slope is basically straight, right? Like it's not being aggressive, it's not going like down faster and faster and faster, and it's not going slower and slower and slower. When it's like this is the kind of trend that actually is more easily believed. Like this is not something that I look at and think, ooh, this is a great opportunity. It's only a good opportunity because we're coming into the weekly and I'm thinking it might be a good spot for the weekly higher low, despite the fact everything's going on in the market might be screaming otherwise. So down here on, I think I was on the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm looking at this rider and as this is one of the times where you can see it's doing that thing I just described where we're actually accelerating down, right? Where the curve is going down faster. And so I saw this and I thought, this is worth a shot. So on this black line here, I took one entry, here I took another entry, and the bounce did happen. And all I was really looking for is like, can it get up to the 1 minute EMA 12 to let me get some risk off, which it did. It got up high enough that I took risk off here, and then it rolled over and stopped me out, there. So that was my first attempt. Second attempt was here. So we had gotten this bottom, a nice bounce, and then we're getting a balance, right? And so this is not the best setup because on the higher time frame, we're probably still riding the 5-minute EMA 12, right? And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, we did get above this level, which means that this high might work. And then we come in lower. And at this point now, I'm like, well, it could just be a double bottom. This is basically my double bottom attempt. And we did get a bounce and hold. So I bought the dip on this one thinking that this might hold and be a double bottom to send this thing back up. I did manage to get risk-free. Yes, I got risk-free on this one too. It went up nice here. I got risk-free. I held through all of this stuff and stopped out here. Okay, so 2 attempts, no wins. Then we get to this. So this sucks because I feel like I made a really obvious error in hindsight. I can look at it and be like, oh, well, of course that happened. And so I'm going to walk through what the error was. Basically, we get a fresh low. We get a rally up out of that low, which breaks all of these highs here. So anybody who's still short is getting stopped out on that. And I stupidly, it rallied up here, and then when it pulled back, I thought this is the pullback to buy for continuation, right? I didn't buy on the breakout. There's a level here you could have bought as the breakout. That's not what I did. I waited for it to pull back and buy. And what's dumb about it is there was no higher low here. It's just a stair step up off the lows. And so this is not a rally to be believed. And this is me just like, I want to be in this thing. And so I think the flaw that I made and the thing that I would change next time is, I've seen this work many times where you get a break through the level, then a pullback, and then it just goes. That's what I was banking on happening here. When that didn't happen and we broke the low of this candle, I should have exited right there, right? Because I had risked on this entry, I had risked to the low. And the reason that that's a bad way to do it, and the reason why it's better to take your stop right here, is because this is a rally that had no support built on the way up. And if it fails here, the most likely thing that's going to happen from there is that it's going to go back and test that low. That's just a fact. And because no support's built on the way up, this is how price works. It's just exploring all the time for liquidity. Okay, we got up here, right? And there was liquidity here and liquidity here, and they took all that liquidity. Now, if it can't go further and the bulls aren't there to keep supporting that and moving it up, then they're like, okay, cool. Where's the next closest liquidity? Right here. Everybody who got long here and all the way up, their stops are here. So what does it do? Boom, stops everybody out. And and that's just how it works. Like, this is not the market tricking you. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. And so they got me, and I feel so dumb because that was stupid. Like, this stop, I didn't need to take this stop at all. It shouldn't have happened. I should have exited up here. And if we're being really honest, like, what I should have done, where did it go? Go down to the 1 again. What I should have done was, when it got down below here and stopped all these people out, this is where I should have been buying, right? Like, this down here is the place to really, if you're going to be a person who buys like risky dips, that's the one to buy. But I didn't do that. At that point, I'm like, ugh, I tried twice. I got out risk-free, so no money lost. I tried a third time and I took a stop, and now I'm pissed. And I can't let that invade my brain, because honestly, I look at it and I'm like, who am I pissed at? I can't be pissed at this stock. This is my fault. It's a mistake that I made. And so at that point, I'm like, no, I think I just have to wait now. I have to wait and see. Like, when it rallied up out of here, now I'm like, okay, what's it going to do again? When it breaks this here, is it going to then reject and come back and test this lower liquidity again? What ends up happening? Let's go to a higher time frame. So we get a bounce up. It cannot break this high that was set before here. Fails to do it, rolls over. At that point, I'm like, okay, cool. It couldn't even get to the level. Now it's rolling over to test liquidity below. And what does it do? It fails to test that liquidity. It starts bouncing again immediately. And at that point, I'm like, oh, snap. And I realize that I probably got to get in this thing like now. And so I start getting my order ready. I'm trying to figure out my size. I realize it's too far away from here now. I got to do it to here. And because, again, if this fails, right now I'm thinking clearly, if this fails on this breakout, I don't want to lose all the way to there. I'm going to risk it to here only. And so I buy it basically on the breakout over here. And I wished that I'd gotten it right here from the top of that candle, but whatever. I did the best I could. Got it there. I did manage to get risk-free here. Then we get this huge rally. I took another piece off right here, and now I'm holding the rest for a swing. And there is the story of Netflix. Finally green on Netflix after that trade, but a bit of a challenging one.